everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Planet Coaster. Before we get too into it, there were some comments talking about removing the explosion effect from the start of this ride. I have done so now, and I mean, there's still going to be the orbital cannon, but that's just smoke. There's no longer like the flashing lights there. So if that was bothering you, it should be sorted now. Thank you for the comments that brought it to my attention. Has it affected the Q rating much? The Q rating still sucks. It sucked, and it still sucks. So I think that's fine. We're going to go to all staff here and just make sure everybody is promoted and also making money. Janitors make 150 up to a point. You know, I'll pay you 300 right now. We're making money. There's no excuse not to here. This section of the park's doing fine. We made $9 grand this month. Challenges are achieve a monthly profit from coasters of $77,500, build a coaster that reaches 90 miles an hour, or build a coaster, and build a coaster with an average speed of at least 50 miles an hour, all of which is going to be somewhat difficult. We need to expand the park. Because we're running out of space, but also we need to spread traffic out a little bit. We've had, in the last 3 episodes, we've had about 1,000 extra people get into the park. So we're going to start creating some paths here to get our next section. And we're building out in a radial fashion. So we're going to do it like this. This gives us a lot more real estate to deal with here. And it connects logically with other areas of the park, which I think is important. Little bit of a dead man's curve there. Not too bad, though. Okay, that seems logical to me. And we can start to add some, hopefully, like, profitable things here. But let's be a smart man first. I might be a little bit overkill on bins. But we are going to throw these down regardless. Because I am paranoid about garbage. We had some serious garbage problems with our last park. I know you're going to say your whole park was garbage. That's real funny. Wow, did you steal that joke from TRL? Just get like a relative degree of garbage symmetry going on here. Sweet. All right, well, there's no reason to come to this section yet. Just the Memento is still popping off like crazy. What do we do to kickstart this section? Well, obviously, you know, a roller coaster would be awesome. We actually could build a coaster out in this general direction. So I think we should. Let's just open our notifications. Well, let's go into research first and see how things are going here. So park management, research, reveal. I'm going to make a wooden coaster. And I've made wooden coasters before. I quite like them. And I think this is close enough to other rides to have a good chance to actually be a decent roller coaster. They're all like pointed out in the same direction here, but that's okay. We got plenty of space left in the park. And I want it to be dense. I don't want the roller coasters to be far apart. That's how you get into trouble. So I think we'll go coasters and I don't know, maybe we should make a different kind. Like we've made wooden roller coasters before. Maybe we should make the Mine Train coaster. We've never done it before. It's for all ages, cannot invert. Gets a lot of people on it as well, which is nice. Could we... we might be able to build it over in that section, but it seems unlikely to me. Alright, so this is going to be a classic Northernlion coaster here. The queue makes sense. There is, like, we can build the queue out in a logical fashion from here. I'm just going to move it a little closer to the corner. This way it's easier for the track to loop back around at the end, no matter which way we choose to have it go. Or we could do it like this and have the have a drivetrain push it onto the chain lift. Actually, this seems more logical to me. You know, we got to make use of the limited space we have. So throw this down. We might as well start tests, but start with a little drivetrain here. Drive tires, I should say. And all this is going to do is push you around 90 degrees. That way, we can start having people go up the chain lift logically here. You can go up at 60 degrees. You aren't a baby. I mean, in fact, a 60-degree climb actually looks maybe even a little too intense. But we want it to go up fast, though, because if it doesn't go up fast, then we don't get, like, the excitement just peters out so quick. Maybe 45 is more reasonable for a roller coaster that's for all ages. It doesn't need to be, like, that high. Just have it go up there. And then, start them out with a little drop like this. Remember, this isn't going to be a lunch loser style roller coaster. Have you go take a full helix down here. And continue to drop. Just being mindful of the G-forces. A lot of these pre-made elements seems to be extremely helpful in generating a roller coaster that's exciting, but also, like, functional. So I was thinking, like, throw in a helix up to the right. And hopefully, like... Oh, you know what? Let's make the... let's do what we did. We need to affect that again, but... Let's do what we did, on Stealth. That worked out really well for us. And throw in, like... If we're gonna do a helix down, make it large. That way, it's a little bit more exciting, and the G-forces aren't, like, as ridiculous. So it's gonna take them a while to get up there, but that's okay. Track is bent. Let's just see how they like this for now. And I should, again, adjust this. Otherwise, excitement is going to be a fucking 0. I just don't want to, like, shake them too much when they get to the bottom, is the thing. And this is going to be, like, a weirdly square roller coaster, which I'm completely okay with. Right now, nobody's going to be really in this section of the park, and that's completely fine by me. Alright, so they climb it. Make sure they don't get too nauseous on the, you know, Wyoming mountain pass here. And don't forget to add block sections. They come down, they're excited. Everything's in the green on the Christmas train. The excitement just, it dips for a while there, but fear gets outrageous. Maybe we're better off. I'm just going to delete this so I don't have to go through the chain lift stuff again. And sure, we probably lost money in the process, but we have infinite money right now, effectively. So we're going to throw in the helix down, but we're going to make it a little smaller. Because nausea was no problem there, but they did start to be like, hey, I'm not really very excited, so... Start to pull them out of the curve a little bit here. Stats are bad in that. I don't, like, here you go. Come back. Why are stats bad during that? Is it because they're going too fast? Maybe we could probably get away with starting the helix a little faster and then seeing how they feel about that. And if, you know, if you're not into watching this, you know, this is Planet Coaster, my dudes. So see how they feel about a drop that does that instead. The debugging process for roller coasters is what has allowed me to not be extreme garbage. Now, see, that's bad because it's bleeding excitement but generating fear. So we want to create the helix down to the left, but we want it to be tighter. Hopefully something like that is a little bit more functional. I'm learning it's not so much about the speed of the coaster, it's about the elements that you throw in there. You want to have them constantly doing something. You know, just going straight is only exciting for me, apparently, on a roller coaster. Why are they so afraid of what they're going through here? I don't understand. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's that bad. Like, you're just going through a little swivel. It might not be ideal, but... You know, it's not like it's that hard of a life. This might start to take you too high. Like, look at the fear rating. This roller coaster is obviously... I guess it's the G's are too high. I always forget about that. Okay, well, what have I learned from this situation? This roller coaster... Oh, Lord. This roller coaster should not be this tall. So that is actually... That's the principal bummer. Because we're going to have to do like that. Okay. People get afraid because they're not strapped in, maybe. So we'll have them, you know, go not quite as high. And see if we can make a roller coaster that's exciting, despite being about 1.5 inches off the ground. We can certainly make it, it's gonna get to the top pretty fast. Throw in a helix down to the left that's substantially smaller. It's gonna be like a little baby coaster. But you can see, like, it was in the greens there. At least temporarily. So then, shake them back to reality. Up there goes gravity. Have them go over, like, a little hill like this and see how they feel about it. I think this coaster is gonna suck, honestly. I just don't understand why they're such babies about, like, a simple turn. This is a boring section of this roller coaster. Like, right now, they're happy. It's green. And then all of a sudden, they're like, I'm too afraid right now. I'm so afraid that I can't handle things. They come back around a little bit. And honestly, the nausea is not that bad coming through the next section. But I'll probably try to run with this coaster. But to be real with you, it doesn't seem like it's likely to be one of my strongest works here. So, like, they have to turn around. That's just a foregone conclusion. Straighten them out a little bit. Oh, I clicked on the wrong piece of track here. Straighten them out a little bit. And drop them down. Remember, I want to finish them in, like, a block section. Man, the excitement gets really, really bad. In fact, it gets too bad to function during that section. Although it does get slightly exciting again before the end. So that's actually an easy fix. Have it climb faster. And fall faster. So get like that. And then take them down for the count. There you go. Might be a little bit high on the G-forces here. We'll see. I'm just gonna give him a little bit of track to bleed off some nausea, hopefully without making, or bleed off some fear maybe. This roller coaster kind of sucks though, I'll level with you. At least it doesn't take us 45 minutes to build like it used to. So you go over that, and the stats are good there. They go through this overbank turn. They don't get too nauseous actually, and the stats go back into the green. And then they fall into the yellow. We have auto-tunneling on. Or we don't have auto-tunneling on. Okay, so what's the ticket? What if we drop them further into the ground? The idea being that, like, at the present moment, they're not that afraid. Because they don't think that there's, you know, like, any more ground to go through. And then we just raise them out here. Into something like that. Throw in a friction brake segment. Throw in a block segment. And then basically auto-complete to the finish line here. But it's gonna have to be drive tires, so we'll do it ourselves. Drive tires. I don't think we need the friction brakes. If I'm being honest here. Nice to see that the park is, like, handling itself in my absence, though. I really like this part of the ride. Please tell me it makes it over that. The stats, though. The stats. Wow, that's bad. At least it's not that nauseating. So where's... Did I put way too many friction brakes? Drive tires? Block section? Friction brakes. I don't think you need the friction brakes. That can just be track. Information 8 has closed again. Stats still horrible. I think it's mostly because of the stats at the end. Like the fact that it takes so long to get to the exit is what kills it here. Ah, but it's in the yellows now. Apparently it's not, people are not afraid enough. And I've been, okay, it's all because of the end. This end section, if we fix it, I actually think it'll become functional. So get rid of this stuff right here. Good, okay. Again, you don't need the friction brakes. So what do you need? Well, like, okay, no, delete that. You got a lot of speed coming out of this hill here, right? I think. What if we, like, raised people up? Flattened them out. Oh, God. Block sectioned. And then from the block section, we made, like, a really small dip that then auto-completed. Bear with me here. That way they get a little bit of excitement towards the end. So they go through the surface of the earth. They come out, they're happy. It's so close to actually being like an exciting roller coaster. Let's do something quick here. I'm gonna, you know, say that we're done, but I'm not actually done. And we're gonna go to operations, and we're gonna make it block sectioned and have 2 cars instead of just the 1, and the minimum load is gonna be 0, because I'm gonna trust that people are gonna actually ride on this thing. And then we're gonna throw this back into testing. Because I think we're borderline close to having a roller coaster that people actually enjoy, believe it or not. Because when it's block sectioned, we won't be penalized for this awful ending section. I believe. Yeah, now we're in the 5s. I think we were in there before. They do need to be a little bit more afraid, if possible. And a little bit more excitement would not hurt. So what am I going to do about that? I'm going to go back down to speed 1 here. And I'm going to rework parts of this coaster. Like this section right here to about that section right there, I think it needs to go. And I think I was too worried about fear earlier. So I'm going to drop them a little faster. And I'm going to make the half helix a little... Well, we can make it larger and then have it burrow into the surface of the earth. Which would definitely be good for excitement and fear. And then just have it auto-complete. Auto-complete fail. It's not doing so good at the auto-complete right now. That's okay. The fear actually gets up to 11 there. So you know what? Might Control Z that. And just be a little less out of control. That's gonna be real bad for nausea, though. Let's try it. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so they come down, they go through a really tight half helix, but then there's a lot of doing a whole heck of a lot of nothing. Yeah, that's needlessly bad for nausea, I think. But we'll go up to speed 3 and just see what else could be changed to make it better if necessary. Comes through. Really bad for fear, really bad for nausea. Okay, so that's definitely a Control Z situation there. Well, what we could do is just drop them. And then as they're, you know, as we come through the drop here, level them out. And then just bring them back up. Through the surface of planet Earth. Like that. And try that on for size. Stats are looking pretty solid here. I'll take it. I'll take it. It needs a little bit more fear if possible. But that's all it needs. I can't believe we've actually properly debugged a coaster. I'd like it to be all greens if possible. What does fear need to be for it to be good? I can't recall. Let's just say we're done for now. Operations tab. I still want this to have 2 cars. Okay, it does have 2 cars, and they're both running. We can call this, you know, the worm, because you actually get to go through the freaking auto tunnel, which I think is cool. Prestige is not amazing right off the bat. If we could just make it slightly scarier. How would we make it slightly scarier? I think you go back to edit track. There's no point in launching a suboptimal roller coaster like this. We should instead endeavor to create a coaster that's, you know, lovely. We can always terraform over our previous auto tunnel as well. So I think if we just make the underground section like a little longer and then raise them maybe a little faster and then snap them. Not like that though. Are you out of your mind? Something like that. Okay, let's try it on for size. Fear spends a lot of time being in the green. I'm pretty happy with that. It's still 3.76, huh? Like exactly the same. It's not that 3 is too high, right? Fear is too low. I mean, okay, the other thing we could do if we Control Z the Christ out of this, which is gonna have, like, oh, redo. I'd like to redo this. It's gonna have a ripple effect, but we could go back to our chain lift here and just raise it. This will certainly affect the fear rating. Maybe enough to make it so scary that people actually will not want to ride it. Let's see, though. Now we have these tunnels that we're not doing anything with on the first section. I actually think it makes the coaster worse. But if they spend more time in a good fear state, that's fine by me. Now nausea's in the yellow, but fear is in a good spot. So what do? You just probably adjust that ever so slightly so they're not getting quite as dropped. It's taken us a while to make this happen, admittedly, but I think it's for the best. Nausea's still not in a great spot. Okay. Start leveling out the drop a little faster. I think this is a new track, too. This is going to bleed excitement a little bit, but you're still going fast. They'll be happy. It's actually, like, worse. You know what? We'll deal with yellow nausea. I'd really like for this ride... Like, doesn't this ride just feel better if it tunnels? Like, it would be a bummer for me if we made a non-tunneling ride here. So let's throw one auto tunnel in here. Because we deserve it. And then autocomplete. There you go. Now run the test. And just, if fear and nausea can be in the green, I'll be a happy camper. We've done it. Finally. Not the best coaster we've ever made, but pretty good. Alright. Canyon Runner 1. What do we call this? This is the underground worm colony. Not a great name for a roller coaster, admittedly. And now is when I realized, man, we're way too close to the path to make like a good queue here. Oh, multiple rides are broken down, no kidding. Turns out, there's nothing you can do about that, no matter how many mechanics you have, so, if you don't mind, I'm gonna disregard that. I'm so glad we actually got, like, a working framework for a coaster out of this. So we've never really made and by really, I mean, like, sincerely, we've never made a coaster that actually works with this framework before, so I'm happy with that. It's gonna be an ugly queue. And it's probably going to be an overly long queue. You know, I have been guilty of that in the past. At least there's a decent spot for us to get a priority pass in there. And I want to open it up to see what people think about it early if possible as well. But the priority pass is important because if people like it, I want to sell priority passes so I can stop worrying about staff management in one section of this freaking park. Even though they made the changes to the staff management screen, I still would prefer if we didn't have to concern ourselves with it. Now we see if we've made a decision that makes sense and if people will actually come to this section of the park to ride on this roller coaster. And the answer, honestly, right now seems like maybe yes. So we're going to enable priority pass. Here they come. Well, you probably should have waited an extra second there. That's okay. There you go. I want to go on the underground worm colony. Mom, can we go on the underground worm colony? Let's get some blueprinted scenery here, because let's be honest, I don't trust myself to necessarily make this happen. We're still kind of in the fairy tale section of the park. And what would a fairy tale be without a fair? Some dragons and knights and tents and random bullshit strewn all about. Flower stall, of course, makes all the difference. These might be pirate themed, but it gives the illusion of a bustling metropolis over here. Trust me, once we get trees popped down, this will start to look like a sensible queue again. Mind the fire, by the way, that's in the middle of this. We're at 100% queue rating. Dope. Let's pick our new favorite tree, which will not be in Blueprint, it'll be in Custom. And what is our new favorite tree? Baubles, of course. No. Beech trees? No. Birch trees? No. Maples. Way down the street with a maple tree. You guys like Baker Street? Oh my god, did I ever delete those hideous trees earlier? I did not. They're still hanging out there. We should get rid of those, because that's a little ridiculous. Can we adjust the color of these maples? The flowers of Robert Mapplethorpe? Because, I mean, even in the autumn season, not all maples should be created equal, you know? Some of them should be... Some of them should be different colors here. And, well, you know, obviously we're going to throw down some fucking Douglas firs, bud. You never see maples without Douglas firs. They go together like peas in a fucking pod. Okay, let's do the sane and sensible thing and delete these trees right here and right here. How's this ride doing, by the way? Purge Gamers, Dota 2 7.0 patch. It's losing money, but it's probably been broken down. We are going to ride the roller coaster we just built, but first, let's reveal some research. Another inverted coaster, not inverted coaster, suspended coaster. We're researching back to the 80s. I don't know what that is. Researching all aboard. Researching carousel into the sky. How do people feel about the park in general? Really good, except for just a memento. 97-3 is the rating right now. That's awesome. Okay. Happiness is high pretty much across the board. Vendors make 200 bucks. Janitors, I don't know. You get 175 now. All right, let's finally ride our roller coaster, which made $2,000 in its first month. Are you kidding me? All right, so we're starting in the block section here. Why does my child have eyes like this? It's frightening. Everybody's wearing hats. That's what I like to see. Timer has just gone off, but that's okay. We're riding this roller coaster once. It's very similar in theme to the Lunch Loser. Very similar to J. Smith OTI's Commute, just a little bit smaller. But this one is unique in that it goes underground. I'm going to take it up to speed 3 so we can get ready to pop off here. That's the problem, man. It takes too long to actually launch this roller coaster. Get a nice view of the Dragons of Camelot as you come around. Who are these alien people? Nice view of stealth as well. You know, this is the roller coaster you go up and you go, oh, I'm glad we're not on that thing. It would be nice to have more staging elements here. Oh, that's pretty cool. You get rattled a little bit. I can see that. Go back down through the center of the earth. Please keep your hands inside of the vehicle at all times. Nice view of Yankee Doodle. And then you just wait for the train to leave the station so that you can go back on it here. Beautiful. People love it. People are lining up for it. How much does this cost? $10. Look, this is a $12.50 ride. I'm just being level with you. And people love it so far. It's a 4-star, basically. Once this leaves, this will come back around, ergo ensuring our profit. And that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.